All right, so in this video, I'm going to show you the different types of content that you can create for your business. Very straightforward. People ask me, hey Salman, what kind of content should I be creating? I'm not creating all kinds of different content. I need help. Where do I start? And I want to break it down for you so that it's simple, easy, and you'll never be asking the question of what type of content should I be creating for my business. All right, so let's get started. First thing that we need to do is put our customers into tiny little buckets. Let's call this awareness. All right, people that have never heard of you, that are just starting to hear about you, for them to understand what you do and whether or not you can help them is this early stage. We call it the awareness stage. And then the next stage is consideration. And then finally, you have decision stage. People that have never heard of you, they're in the awareness stage. People that have heard of you, but they're not sure if you can help them quite yet, if you have the right solution, that is the consideration stage. And finally, people are trying to pick the right person for their business, right? And that is the decision stage. This helps you figure out what kind of content you should be creating. I think the simplistic way of thinking about content is to think about the types of content. There's text content, all right? There's video content, and there's audio content. So remember that. Text, it's like a tweet. Text is your blog post. Text is a social media post. Video, as you know, you are watching Instagram. LinkedIn is full of videos. Everywhere you go, it's videos, right? YouTube is video, and remember that practically video is the future. So you have to get comfortable with it and familiar with it. So that is video right there, and audio. The most popular way of distributing audio would be podcast. You can also strip out the audio from your video content and turn that into an audio piece as well. So everything is in one of these three types. Again, for someone to know that you exist, right? So this awareness stage is pretty critical. Well, everyone talks about, just give me people like leads like that are ready to buy. I just need leads that are over here. All right, everybody says I just need leads. I want to know how fast can they make this purchase. My friend, it starts up here. Nobody ever wakes up and says I want to go buy XYZ. They are looking for solutions. They're looking for a solution to their problem, and awareness is where you should spend a lot of your time and energy in, letting people know they have a problem and what type of problem that might be. So awareness would be things like blog posts. Awareness would be things like just creating content that allows someone to read, consume on their own time, whether it's a video or text or audio, about the problem that they have, right? And promoting that content like hell, so that people actually know that, yes, I have that problem. Yes, I think this article is right on the point with what I'm experiencing. So awareness content is really key. Most of the time, that's not where people spend their dollars. They're spending their dollars down here. So awareness content, as I said, it's blog posts, anything that you can use to bring it out, whether it's a video explaining the challenge and not your solution, just explaining the challenge that they have, and 6 ways to know this is something that you're experiencing, whether it's in the audio format, whatever that might be, and just speaking to that pain. Let's use that as an example. Anything that is pain is what I would say. What you would want to do then is think about what kind of content is in consideration stage once you have somebody inside your list, your funnel, whatever you want to call it. And this would be like ebooks. Hey, I am really good at this problem because we have done this. This is why you should pick us, right? Like, this is a consideration stage. So talk about the success stories that you've had here, right? Think about the success stories, because you really want to make sure that they pick you instead of someone else, right? This is more middle of the funnel, if I may. And you can also do things like webinars, right? Think about that and let them know that you exist. Anything that you can do to let that person know that you're there for them, and you could actually fix the problem. You've done it before. Take a look at some of the success stories and the past previous success that we had. Anything of that sort becomes really, really, really important. So over here, you can create email nurturing sequences. Right, so this is like email marketing that enables people to learn. It could be like a free course that you give. You can create quizzes here, right? So quizzes become really, really, really important for people to learn about the pain by going through a series of questions that they self-identify and self-relate to whatever that is, right? Self-describe, in other words. So that would be something really, really important. Give them tons of resources here, because at the end of the day, there's no shortage of content. Might as well be you that they come to be able to do that, right? Here's a guide on how to pick the right, CFO, CPA, anything that you might be related to, whatever that pain that you resolve. This would be it. People talk about white label. People talk about white paper. I would say reports would be really key in this area. Think about reports that you can create, guides, white papers. As I said, I don't have enough room to write it, but seriously, this is huge, especially as you're trying to close the lead. It's always good to follow up with them with content that you've created that speaks to their pain. It's super important. And finally, you're like, all right, great, thank you. I got the different types of content. Now I want to work on what do I do when they're ready to make a decision. I want to still be able to follow up with them, nurture them, help them. What can you do? Well, this would be great if you have things like testimonials. Video testimonials are even more powerful. If you're selling software, you want like little demos of different areas of the platform where they don't have to do anything but to watch it, right? I would say free trial. If you are again in the software space, you want to make sure that you do anything that you can here to be able to help them. So essentially, these are all comparison content. So I'm just going to put the word comparison. You want them to compare you versus someone else so they can decide what is best for them. Testimonials, like I said, it shows that you know what you're doing. Any sort of past success case studies would be huge in this department. Now, let's say you're like an e-commerce solution. You might be able to do some kind of couponing right here if you really wanted to get this last sale, right? You want to have a discount code. If you know that this is what they need, create something, create some urgency and say, hey, act now. Here's why, you should be buying this thing. And with this email, I'm enclosing a 10% coupon, whatever that is. But I'm not a big fan of concessions and discounts. It doesn't really do much, in my opinion. Now, you might be in a different world, and I'm perfectly okay with that you want to be giving away certain things. But I like the premium aspect of things. I believe that people don't buy just on price alone. And I certainly want to be able to help my entrepreneurs I work with make more money, not less. So. But you might be in a place that is commoditized, that you might want to be able to create some sort of urgency and give them a discount. But long story short, if you're a B2B company, these are the different areas that you can work on, whether it's a video for your business. Again, this would be huge for your LinkedIn company page, your personal LinkedIn page, right? Creating a podcast would be a huge area, and it's never been easier. It costs like $30 to buy a mic for your iPhone, and being able to create it, it does not cost any more than that. I'm talking about brand name product for $30. That's huge. And taking care of your social profiles, both company and personal, to be able to share whether or not the folks out there know that you exist and their pain exists, just pounding them on the pain that they may be able to experience, creating different types of content. Like what I'm doing right here is a different type of content than I normally do, which could be text, which could be video, but this is different because I just felt creative, and I have an amazing team working around the clock for me to be able to do all this fun stuff that I actually get to do. So this is an example of going outside the box. And if you're thinking about folks to educate and nurture during consideration stage, there's tons that you could do. Again, using a video webinar where they can see you to learn more about you. You're in front of a whiteboard explaining certain things. All of this has to be in all three formats. Don't just try to do it all in text, because not everybody's really good at reading and have the time and the patience to read, and not everybody's good at video. So you might want to create content that they can go right on the road and listen to you as you're talking about. It's not as difficult as it looks once you get into the zone of it. And again, we're in a world where content can be created on the go. I've made podcasts as I'm driving. I've made videos in the car when I don't have time to create otherwise. There's just so much that you can do. And just so you know, this video is shot on an iPhone. How do you ask? How did you hold the iPhone? As I said, it's hanging by a thread. But it can be done is what I'm saying. So there's so much that you can do more than ever. It's just a matter of thinking about how do you want to connect to your audience? What can you do differently? How do you actually create something different than even what they're used to seeing? For me, I love whiteboards and stuff, so I want to just create some content. This is actually something that people ask me every day, so I figured might as well make it simple for me and simple for you. So I hope this video has been useful. If you still have questions on the type of content that you should be creating for your business, don't hesitate to ask. Let us know in the comment section. Tell me if you enjoyed this video, if you'd like me to create different types of content. Love to learn more about your feedback. I would love to learn whether or not you found this valuable, and if you did, please share it with someone you know that need to hear this. All right, so thanks a lot for watching, and I will see you next time.